Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. We've got some breaking news out of City Hall. Back in September, the Corpus Christi City Council said no to a $1.2 billion desal plant, leaving residents wondering where will future generations be getting their water in the midst of an ongoing drought. Well, today, City Manager Peter Zanoni told me he has secured an agreement to potentially save desal. Earlier today, Zanoni told Chris 6 News he met with Corpus Christi desal partners that were the city's second choice behind Kiewit in the Inner Harbor desal project. The partnership is made up of 4 local, national, and international companies. They'll be developing new proposals with a price tag for the design and construction of a desal project that would be in the same location as the failed Kiewit proposal.
It's a little bit different than the first way we did it, which is we wanted the desal plant and we got a price. This one would say, here's a price, and with that price you can get this. And the firm or the team will develop several options for council to consider. A low, mid, and high price scenario, as an example.
Zanoni also mentioned if the desal project ends up moving forward, the city would also look into hiring an experienced desal operator to run the facility instead of the city. He plans to present this to council on the 18th of November. You'll find more on this story on our website, christv.com. So how this new desal came about and who knew what when has muddied the waters a little bit. After we wrapped up our interview with the city manager, we got a statement from the mayor. In it, she says, in part, as mayor, I have issued a call to action and placed the Inner Harbor Desalination Project on the city council agenda for November 18th. The mayor went on to say the city manager is simply following her directive and says we must all work to serve the people of Corpus Christi because they deserve water solutions today. But earlier, this is what the city manager said during our interview.
And so we know that there were 3 firms that applied in the initial request for proposal process. The second firm that is known as Corpus Christi Desal Partners, I've been working with over the past several weeks, independent of council, behind the scenes.
Well, in a couple of hours later, we received a news release from the city that included another statement from Peter Zanoni. In a statement, he says, I have worked for several weeks on this initiative with input from the mayor and council. Well, now we've talked a lot about water, but do we have any rain in the forecast? For that answer, we're joined now by meteorologist Stephanie Lauber to see what our weekend plans are looking like.
Well, Clara, the weekend plans are a tale of 2 seasons. We've got summer, which you've probably felt today, and then we've got winter coming before we head back to the upcoming work week. So let's talk about the temperature right now. You'll notice that distinct line between the orange and the red. That is not a mistake. We are looking at a pretty big temperature difference across the coastal bend, with inland neighbors who are generally west of 77 hanging out in the upper 80s for Robstown and Kingsville. But if you head a little further west, we're talking about the 90s. And in some cases, we were in the upper 90s a short time ago. If you are east of 77, we are looking at cooler temperatures, at least as the thermometer goes. We're near 80 degrees, not too bad. The difference? This humidity, how much water is in the air. So dew points are higher along the coast, so that kind of restrains how much the temperature can rise. Meanwhile, with dry air, we can see very hot temperatures in a matter of hours. That's what we saw. In fact, we broke the record high temperature again today in Corpus Christi. 91 degrees was a record to beat, set back 37 years ago. We hit 92. Are we going to see summer again tomorrow? Will it be hotter? I've got those answers ahead.
All right, Steph, thanks. Now, we may be in a historic drought, but some neighbors may be wondering why there are so many car washes still open during this time. Well, our Chris 6 investigative reporter, Leah Zora, went looking for the answer for why there are so many quick whacks. We'll share what she found out coming up at 6. And the longest government shutdown in U.S. history may be inching towards a resolution. Today, both sides began looking for a different solution. Previously, the item that would repeatedly be voted on in the Senate was continuing resolution, also known as a stopgap. That keeps previously agreed upon funding going for a short period of time. Today, Democrat Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer proposed a new bill.
Democrats are ready to clear the way to quickly pass a government funding bill that includes health care affordability. Leader Thune just needs to add a clean 1-year extension of the ACA tax credits to the CR. Republican senators have not yet responded to this proposal.
Well, flight cancellations due to the ongoing government shutdown started today, and some travelers are worried. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy made the announcement for the cancellations of flights at 40 airports, equaling an average of 14% of flights being canceled at all of those airports today, and then growing to 10% next week. Some travelers spoke on their anxiety over potential cancellations.
We were very nervous. We had a 10:30 flight, and yesterday we changed it to a 7 o'clock flight because we were nervous that the planes were going to get stacked up.
All 5 airports that Corpus Christi International Airport flies to are being affected by those cuts. And the Coastal Bend Food Bank is feeling the effects of the government shutdown in a big way. Since the shutdown began, they have seen a 20% increase in demand for food. Executive Director of the Coastal Bend Food Bank, B. Hansen, says unless the shutdown ends, it's going to get worse. Right now, they are helping different institutions with employees that haven't been paid. They're also holding food distribution events for families that haven't received their SNAP benefits. B. Hansen says the problem now is food is leaving the food bank as fast as it's coming in. That's why they're asking for the public's help.
The problem that we're having is the food is leaving the food bank as fast as it's coming in, and we are having to purchase food. So any help that the community has provided for us at this point is going to order food. Any way that the community can come together and help us get through this time, it will be very, very appreciated.
Well, here's how you can help. Chris Communications and Mazda Corpus Christi have teamed up for a food drive to help our neighbors who are struggling without SNAP benefits. That food drive to benefit the Coastal Bend Food Bank will kick off Monday at Mazda Corpus Christi on SPID. You can drop off non-perishable food items at Mazda of Corpus Christi all next week, or scan the QR code on your screen and donate directly to the food bank. Join us in this effort to help so many of our Coastal Bend neighbors who are struggling.
I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Alice. Since the 70s, Alice high school students have been preparing for the cosmetology industry. It's thanks to a program you could say is a cut above the rest.
I have always been really girly, and I like to watch my mom get her nails done with her nail tech.
Ali Signs has been part of the program for 4 years, learning everything from infection control, chemical safety to client relations and professionalism.
It's a lot, and you kind of don't realize how much it is, but it actually is very beneficial.
Ali is about 6 months away from high school graduation, but she's already a fully licensed cosmetologist. She's even been offered a salon job. However, she hasn't taken it due to her extracurricular activities.
I feel very blessed because not a lot of people get to have this experience for free, and at Alice High School we get to experience having a whole license free.
Cosmetology instructors say in the last 2 years they've seen their students go straight into the workplace. Some have gone on to take additional classes at local community colleges to get additional experience. Students like Anali Trevino, whose passion for the beauty industry also started when she was young.
Since I was little, I fell in love with doing nails, and so right when I came to high school, it was my interest to come into the programs.
Anali tells me what makes this class special is the opportunity to graduate work-ready and debt-free.
Right after high school, I can, or even right now, that I can go work at a place, or I can do businesses at home.
She says her favorite part is getting the real-world experience and knowing that her and her peers won't be spending thousands of dollars. School officials tell me the program has evolved over the last couple of years to ensure that students are career ready. In Alice, I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter, Chris 6 News.
Corpus Christi man lost everything in a house fire. Neighbors stepped in to help. I'm Jada Jenkins in Corpus Christi with how the community's kindness turned tragedy into hope.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Jose Lopez was at the store on Saturday night when he got a call from his neighbor saying the home he's owned for 13 years was on fire. He lost everything. I'm your neighborhood news reporter Jada Jenkins in Corpus Christi with how neighbors and a local business owner are helping him rebuild his life. By the time Jose Lopez got the call, it was too late.
He started burning the whole house, the fire coming out through this window and through that door.
The flames took everything his family built over the last 13 years.
We didn't have much, but we had something that we could come home and rest, and find some peace, but now there's no home.
He walks me through what's left: ashes, charred walls, and memories.
This was one of my son's room.
Jose owns Chico's Candy Apples. His kitchen was his livelihood.
It's all burned. The kitchen is all burnt.
Now he's working out of a church kitchen, trying to keep his business alive. But he's not doing it alone.
Being through it and just actually knowing how it feels to lose.
Drew Munoz owns Candy Andy. 3 months ago, I told you about a fire that destroyed his food truck. The community stepped in to help. Now, Drew wants to pay it forward. He's the one who started a GoFundMe for Jose.
We sat there together and created the whole account here at Candy Andy. And
2 men, each hit by fire, now lifting each other back up. And for Jose, it's his faith that keeps him moving forward.
All this happened for a reason, and I know that God wants me to think big.
Both men tell me helping each other when times get hard is what being a neighbor is all about. Jose says customers have been ordering his candy apples to support his recovery. And as for Drew, his new food truck is expected to open next week with a new look and a bigger menu. In Corpus Christi, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jada Jenkins, Chris 6 News.
Jada, thank you. If you're hitting the road this weekend, we've got some good news for you. It won't cost you as much to fill up your gas tank. According to AAA, gas prices have dropped quite a bit here at home. Today's average price for a gallon of regular unleaded is $2.48.
So how is the last commute home of the week doing? From the looks of our SPID camera, we are very sluggish out there if you're heading out toward the island on SPID, so please be patient, maybe take an alternate route. But we're pretty busy around many places. Let me show you how our traffic maps are looking. We're okay on 37. There is some stop and go as you approach 358. That's SPID up there by IH37. Looking okay as you approach across town and the bridge. Downtown is pretty vibrant right now, as to be expected with Art Walk tonight, but the slowdowns on SPID don't happen because of that crosstown interchange. This is actually happening once you get past about Castorias and start heading toward Everhart, so prepare for some of those delays. Saratoga's not doing too bad, but as you might imagine, Staples is also another busy spot per usual, so as you head out, make sure you stay safe and you drive safe. I'll tell you what those weekend plans will look like weather-wise ahead.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Welcome back. Well, tonight is not only Art Walk, but also the annual lighting of the massive Christmas tree by the bay. The tree will be lit at 7 p.m. at Artesian Park. So if you plan on making it over there, feel free to stop by for this special occasion. Now, it's been a bit chilly the past few nights, maybe even some mornings. So many neighbors may be wondering how many layers, if they do need to wear layers tonight. So we are joined by meteorologist Stephanie Luber, who has that answer. Tell us, how can people dress up tonight?
Well, bring the sweater, have it on hand, because we had a really hot afternoon. We're still looking at warm temperatures out there, but this is going to drop off quite a bit as we lose that daylight. Kind of like what we've seen the past couple of nights, but there's something very interesting happening in the coastal bend right now, weather-wise. Take a look at the Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network, and this is weather information that's coming from area Tempest weather stations that your neighbors are sharing with us. So up in the B County area, 91 degrees off FM 504, 90 off Hilltop Road, 92 from our Beeville neighborhood station. That's down from 93 right after 4 o'clock. So take a look at temperatures on the island. A big difference. 79 off Granada Drive, 78 off Vortex 3. This is not a mistake. We have a really big difference in temperatures along the coast versus inland, and that dividing line is about Highway 77, where temperatures are finally coming down from those upper 90s for a lot of our inland neighborhoods. But along the coast, we've been sitting pretty around 80 degrees from Rockport down to the Bluff at NAS Corpus Christi. We've had sub 80 degree temperatures for a couple hours now. So The difference is how much water is in the air above you in your neighborhood. We are much more humid along the coast. Inland neighborhoods have been fairly dry. That's most of that wind direction, but also a little bit of a sea breeze coming through. So when you have dry air, that temperature can really skyrocket. That's what we've seen today. But even here in Corpus Christi, we broke the record high temperature for November 7th. Not by much, but our high was 92 degrees. The record to beat was 91, set back in 1988. This morning was warmer too. We've been starting things out in the 50s in Corpus Christi. Today we finally had a morning low temperature of 61 degrees. So we've been warming up steadily, slowly over the past couple of days. Tomorrow will probably be another hot one, but there's more wind. That could help shave off a few degrees. So we're not challenging records again. But the rainfall situation is not going to improve. We won't see any change in this. Our rainfall deficit year to date, more than a foot of rain behind. I don't anticipate that number to get any better because I have no meaningful rainfall over the next 7 days, unfortunately. But on the other hand, we get to enjoy some weather. Whether you like it hot or you like it cold, we have both this weekend. So if you're taking the pups out, Stella and Lulu look like they'd have a good time tonight at Art Walk. Should be a good one. Again, the sweater helps for us because as that sunlight disappears, we start to get cooler. Temperatures are going to be sinking down to around 70 degrees around 11 o'clock. Clear skies out there, but more of a breeze tonight than we've had the past couple of nights. It may help us out with the fog, but we're still expecting patchy, dense fog around the coastal bend, and this is going to start shortly after midnight, so be careful if you have plans to stay out late. Visibility will be down to a couple of miles, and then right around dawn, we could see that visibility at or less than a mile for a lot of neighborhoods across coastal bend. So please be careful Saturday morning if you have plans to be up early or late. Whatever the case, this should clear up by mid-morning. It will be a-okay. But moisture is going to take a big dip. We won't have to worry about fog once we get past tomorrow morning because we are going to have some very, very dry air in place. Why? Cold front is on the way and it looks like it's very close. Could be here in a matter of hours. Not so fast. We need help from upstairs to push this through South Texas, and that is not going to be here. We need some help that's still all the way up in the Pacific Northwest upstairs. So when will the front be here? Very early Sunday morning. We're talking around midnight to about 3 a.m. on Sunday morning. This front is going to come through and it is going to bring very windy conditions. So our fire danger tomorrow, low, bottom of the scale. Sunday, that's a different story. We're talking about top of the scale, extreme fire danger. Please be very careful. A fire weather watch is already on deck for Sunday. So after that, we're talking about cool weather. A look at the next 7 days shows some of our neighborhoods will be starting Tuesday morning off in the upper 30s. Corpus Christi, 41.
Are you feeling lucky because tonight's lottery drawing is a record breaker? We'll share those details next.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Well, I am not holding this $1 million ticket. I forgot it in the newsroom, but at least I know somebody is hoping that they're going to win a lottery ticket. Well, for the Mega Millions, the ticket for tonight's Mega Million jackpot is $843 million. It is now the 8th largest jackpot in Mega Millions history. Tonight will be the 38th drawing since the jackpot began growing back in June. That's the longest streak without a jackpot winner since the Mega Millions game began. By the way, check back with us on Monday. Depending on how tonight's drawing goes, we might have a job opening for a 6 p.m. producer. Well, Greek Fest is underway here in Corpus Christi, and we'll share the details of this year's event with you next.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
We'll break out the Slovakis and the Spanakopittas. Here is the 69th Street St. Nicholas Greek Festival, which is underway in Corpus Christi. Well, from the food to the music, the celebration of all things Greek is expected to draw 10,000 visitors this year. Organizers say the annual event isn't just about raising funds for the Greek Orthodox Church. It's an opportunity for them to share the Greek culture with their coastal bend neighbors.
We have frequent tours of the historic St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church, which was founded here in 1950, so is now working on its 75th anniversary as the church that serves the Greek community and Lebanese, Syrians, Romanians, Russians, Ukrainians.
The Greek festival runs through Sunday. St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church is located at 502 South Chaparral Street. That looks so good, and I can't wait to go.
Like already preparing. Got my sweatpants so I can eat all the food.
Yes.
Right? I posted on Facebook asking, what everybody was excited for, because I know I'm going for those pastries. But their sweet red wine is good.
Okay.
Pretty much any of the food is going to be good. So just.
Last year I was pregnant when I went, and we ate so much. I was eating for 2. But
That's
now,
the excuse.
I don't have an excuse. So.
I'm gonna eat for everybody in the Coastal Bend.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Hey, we've got a heads up. It's going to be really windy as we head into this weekend, and that's going to increase our fire danger. And then we get fall for the end of the weekend. So get those sweaters ready.
Good night.
Bye.